and tell
Yeah,
me.
I had no idea.
Yes, hand it over to you. So, Abbie, you came into the Clarity Catalyst and we did 8 weeks together. What was life like before the Clarity Catalyst?
Well, I guess COVID kind of, as it did for many people, it kind of like shook my life up a fair bit. At the time, James, my partner, and I were living in Canada, and I was a travel writer for Flight Centre. And then COVID happened and no one was traveling, and I couldn't work for Flight Centre anymore. So we came home and settled on the Gold Coast. And although I was kind of like plodding along, I had got my teaching certificate for Pilates and was doing a lot of little things. I felt like I was really lacking the direction that I had pre-COVID, if that made sense. And I don't think I was unhappy, but I also, I know, a bit of like a quarter life crisis. Not that I really knew what was going on, if that makes sense. But yeah, I came into it, and I'm pretty sure I came in because I wanted to help you out with the marketing. I was like, well, I may as well do it so I know what I'm talking about. And I actually got a lot from doing it anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, which was great. So what would you say, because as we know, that whole 8 weeks, the first week we look at, judgment on ourselves, mostly judgments we have. We really look at those limiting beliefs around judgment, the stories we tell ourselves. Then we look at expectations. We look at our relationship with time, which was an interesting week too. We look at being mindful. We look at money. We also look at relationships. So out of all of those weeks and tools, is there anything that really stood out for you, or was there a week that still now you go, the Clarity Catalyst? Is there anything that still stands out?
The two would be for me like my relationship with time and my relationship with money. I am not very good at not doing anything, as you know very well, Em. And I have a lot of productivity anxiety. And so my relationship with time is that my time and my schedule is always super packed. Like I don't really leave a lot of time to just be and to leave space for things to drop in. So learning about the importance of time in the creative process and giving my brain time and space to just let things happen, as opposed to constantly cramming it with information and tasks and things to do. Yeah, that was one thing. And then my relationship with money, in the sense that at the time and even now I do a lot of freelance work. And I really did not have the confidence to charge what I thought I was worth. And while I'm still working through that, it definitely set a lot of wheels in motion for me to be more comfortable charging what I should be charging people for my work.
Yeah, very cool. So would we say, it's really, and this would even the ladies that just come through it, even around that charging what you're worth, you really do start to own your gifts and talents a little more. Like you do start to accept, yes, I am worthy, and I do, just through the process, the 8 weeks. And even that's what some of the women have gone through, just that different mindset of positivity and looking at, this is actually what I bring to the world, and being okay with that. Because we talk about the whole tall poppy syndrome, and that's all good and well, and we can talk about it, but how are we actually dissolving it? And I think that's the other thing that happens in the Clarity Catalyst. I'm also remembering in the Clarity Catalyst at the time, you had to move out of a property and find another. And there's that
Yeah.
little bit of magic in the Clarity Catalyst where we trust our intuition. We spend 8 weeks really honing our intuition. That's exactly what you said then. Always wanting to be busy, so our relationship with time, creating some space so our intuition can talk to us through the practices,
Yeah.
through the Alison, do you remember that bit of magic that happened for you around creating space and trusting your intuition? That was
Yeah. Well, that was awesome. Well, yeah, we were, our real estate told us essentially that our lease was ending. And it was in the middle of, or I guess it's still happening now, but like the craziness with the rental situation. And my partner and I got offered a place, and I just like knew that it wasn't the right one for us. And I just had faith, and I was listening to you. I was manifesting, writing everything down. And then we got the perfect place, and we're still here now and super stoked. So yeah, I think pre-Clarity Catalyst, I would have just taken the first opportunity that came my way. Because I would have been too stressed that nothing else would have been out there or whatever. But yeah, definitely. Yeah. And like chatting to the ladies in the course definitely helped as well. So just
and
having a
that's
group of women to speak to.
That's exactly right. Also, the community and getting with like-minded people, and even those one-on-ones that you ladies have together. Also, that's exactly right. Holding the faith, and even you saying no to that first property, which was really challenging because, like you said, changing your relationship with money and time. Often we have a scarcity mindset about I'm scarcity. I don't have enough time. Scarcity. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. And then you shifting, no, this isn't the only property for me. I'm going to hold
Yeah.
steady, get the magic property, which also led to you getting your dream dog, getting Artie into your life. And do you remember that was part of the big picture too in the Clarity Catalyst? You
Yeah.
really wanted to be a pet owner, and then you saying no to the property which wasn't suitable to get the right property, and then to also go on and have your beautiful Artie, your beautiful dog, which was also part
Yeah.
of and that's what life's about, isn't it? Being, fulfilling those goals that are not necessarily, you've got to be able to say sometimes no to things to say yes to things. And
Yes, definitely.
that's the art. Yeah, that's the art. So one last question, my darling, for all of our beautiful little listeners. Thank you all for watching. Most appreciated. So my darling Abs, if someone was thinking of doing the Clarity Catalyst, what would you say to them?
Well, I was listening to you just before I joined, and you said it's for like entrepreneurial women, or anyone that's ready to take the next step in life and they're not really sure what to do. So, personally, I'm entrepreneurial in a way, but I'm not ready to like start a massive venture or do anything like that. I'm happy just plodding along and making things work for me. But the Clarity Catalyst just gave me so many tools, and it probably my biggest takeaway was the fact that everyone is creative, and I have a really new understanding that everyone is creative in their own right kind of thing. And I think that's helped me now working like with my writing, and then also in remedial massage. Like I think that can be creative as well. So it's given me a new perspective of creativity. And if you think that you're not a creative person, you're wrong. And the Clarity Catalyst, I should say, will definitely help you uncover that. Because I think when you understand that you're creative, you have a lot more confidence to move forward in whatever you're doing. But I don't know. I went in, as I said earlier, I have no idea really what was going to happen, and I got so much out of it. So even if you're not too sure, I would highly recommend it, because the tools that I got from the Clarity Catalyst, they've helped with my mental health. Like I have a lot of anxiety, and just a lot of the tools that we got each week, I'm able to use them literally every day, every week, to help me get through the days. I go back on a lot of the books and just refresh myself. The friendships that I made with the other women, they really helped empower me, and it's lovely to watch their journeys. And even though at the end of the Clarity Catalyst, I was still kind of like, oh, this was amazing, but I don't really know what it's given me in that moment. The more that I've kind of moved forward, the more that I understand the lessons that I learned have really helped me get to where I am now, and I'm really happy where I am now. So I hope that just do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it.
And I remember